Good morning, students. So, in today's session, we will be discussing about the last concept of staffing chapter. So, once you finish this chapter, you will be submitting the notes. So, I'll be updating the things to you through Google Classroom. So, what you do is like once you finish the notes, you will submit it to me. Okay, so I'll fix up a proper date, a particular date to submit the notes. So what you do is you complete your notes and submit that to me. Okay, so we'll go to the concept. So today's concept is the last concept of staffing process, that is the training method. So when coming to the training, so in the previous classes we discussed about training, development, education. So what are the benefits of training to the organization, as well as what are the benefits of training to the employee. So I told you that training is very important. Why? Because if the employee is trained in the organization, then his efficiency increases, he gets specialized, or he becomes specialized in that particular work which he is doing. The absenteeism can be totally reduced, and many more things. Okay, so in today's session we will learn about the training methods or methods of training. So there are various methods of training. Okay, so these methods are differentiated or categorized into two. Okay, one is on the job training, and the second one is off the job training. On the job and off the job training. So on the job methods refers to the methods that are applied to the workplace while the employee is actually working. So it applies while the employee is actually working. So he works and gets trained together. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ simultaneous ಆಗಿ ಅವನು ಕೆಲಸನೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ, ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗು ಆಯ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So when coming to off the job method, it is used away from the workplace. Yeah, it is used which is away from the workplace. So the former means learning while doing. Yes, so while the latter means learning before doing. So when in the on the job training, what happens is like the person who is a learner, yes, so he learns the things while doing. So that is on the job. So he is in the job. So what it does is he does new things, he gets trained when he is in the job. So that is what is called as on the job. So off the job is like the person, he learns the things before doing that particular thing. So on the job training is a method where workers learn by doing the work. Yeah, so workers work under the guidance of a supervisor or supervisor or a trained employee in the organization. So they carry out their orders and instructions and follow the technique of operation advised by them. So in this way, what they do is like the workers go on learning step by step, doing particular, that is a particular work which is assigned to them. So after doing the step by step process, they reach a masterly level when coming to on the job. So on the job ಅಂತೇಳುವಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಕೆಲಸದವನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅಥವಾ ಒಬ್ಬ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಕಲಿತಾನೆ. ಯಾ, ಸೊ ಕೆಲಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದು ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಕಲಿತಾನೆ, ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಕಲಿತಾನೆ. ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿ? ಆನ್ ದಿ ಜಾಬ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಆನ್ ದಿ ಜಾಬ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್, ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಪ್ರೆಂಟಿಸ್ಶಿಪ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್. Apprenticeship program. So apprenticeship is a formalized method of training, curriculum program. Okay, so it combines classroom education with the on job under supervision. It includes both, it combines both the classroom education with on the job under supervision. So here under apprenticeship programs, the apprenticeship programs put the trainee under the guidance of master worker. Yeah, they are put under the master or guidance of master worker. So these are designed to acquire higher level skills. These are designed to to acquire higher degree skill. So this method familiarizes with the complications and complexities of the job, so by imparting both the knowledge as well as the skill in doing the job. Yeah, so this kind of method is appropriate for training in crafts or trades maybe, or technical areas, especially when proficiency in the job is the result of relatively long training or apprenticeship period. So the person or the trainee is put under supervision and guidance of an experienced expert. Yeah, so people seeking to enter skilled jobs, so for example plumbers maybe, or electricians, or iron workers, so often they require to undergo apprenticeship training. So they ವರ್ಕ್ ಅವ್ರು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಕಲಿತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಒಬ್ಬ ಪ್ಲಂಬರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಷಿಯನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಎಸ್, ಸೊ ಮೊದಲೇ ಅವನ್ನ ಯಾರು ಸುಪೀರಿಯರ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿಕೊಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಥವಾ ಸೂಪರ್ವೈಸರ್ ಯಾರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ ಯಾರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಜಾಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಆನ್ ದಿ ಜಾಬ್ ಅವರು ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಇವನು ಅದನ್ನೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಅವನು ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಕಲಿತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಅಪ್ರೆಂಟಿಸ್ಶಿಪ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ trainees spend a prescribed prescribed amount of time working with an experienced guide or a trainer. So a uniform period of training is offered to trainees. So usually a uniform period illa, but according to your textbook it's like the uniform period is provided to the or offered to the trainees, in which both fast and slow learners will be learning. So you can't say that each and every person or each and every employee works in the same manner. So there are fast learners as well as slow learners. So both fast learners and slow learners will learn here. So both the fast as well as slow learner will be placed together. So slow learners may require additional training in order to pick up the things which they have to do. So ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಟೈಮ್ ತಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅವರು ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಲೋ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಟೈಮ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಆ ವಿಷಯವನ್ನು ಕಲಿತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಒಬ್ಬ ಪ್ಲಂಬರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಷಿಯನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಐರನ್ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್, ಎಸ್, ಸೊ ಇಂಥವರು ಅಪ್ರೆಂಟಿಸ್ಶಿಪ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಂಡರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರೇನಾಯ್ತಾರೆ, ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಆಯ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಕೋಚಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಕೋಚಿಂಗ್, ದ ಟ್ರೈನಿ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಅ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸೂಪರ್ವೈಸರ್, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಯುವರ್ ಅಪ್ರೆಂಟಿಸ್ಶಿಪ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಅಪ್ರೆಂಟಿಸ್ಶಿಪ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಥರನೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಟ್ರೈನಿ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಅ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸೂಪರ್ವೈಸರ್ ಹೂ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಕೋಚ್ ಇನ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್, ಹೂ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಕೋಚ್ ಇನ್ training the employer. So the supervisor or a coach, what it is it familiarizes the employee with the equipment, then the materials, etc. Okay, so this helps the learner to pick up the skills and the ಸ್ಪೀಡ್. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಅವನ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಲನ್ನು ಪಿಕಪ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಅವನ ಸ್ಪೀಡನ್ನು ಪಿಕಪ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಸೂಪರ್ವೈಸರ್ ಈ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ಸ್ ಅ ಫೀಡ್ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ದ ಟ್ರೈನಿ ಆನ್ ದಿ performance which he is doing and offers him some suggestions for improvement, like how he can improve his work in the organization. Yeah, so the supervisor guides and instructs the trainee as a coach. So he will be a coach, he just guides and instructs the trainee as a coach. So coach or the counselor, yes, sets mutually agreed upon goals, suggest how to achieve these goals periodically, then reviews and trainees progress and suggest changes required in behavior and performance. So the trainee works directly with a senior manager and the manager takes full responsibility for the trainees coaching. So classically the trainee is being groomed to replace the senior manager and relieve them from some of this duty. So this gives a chance for the trainee to learn the job also. So here, just like I told you, it's like it is a person whose employee is put under a coach, so he will be familiarizing the employee with the equipments, the materials and the tools which are available in the organization, but and also he helps the learner to pick up the skill and speed. Okay, so the supervisor, he provides feedback to the trainee on his performance and offers him some suggestions for improvement. Okay, so the third one is internship training. So when coming to internship training, so this internship training is a system of on the job training that allows learners to gauge the gauge their interest in their chosen professional area. Yeah, interest in their chosen professional area. Yeah, so it also provides a real world experience instead of second hand experiences. So internship, so you might have people saying, I mean, you might have heard people saying that they are under internship. Yeah, so ಅವ್ರು internship ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, they get a real world experience instead of a second hand experience. So this method is usually meant for such vocations where advanced theoretical knowledge is to be backed up by the practical experience. So ಬರೀ theoretical knowledge ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಅಥವಾ ಸಾಲದೆ ಇರೋ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇದನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್, ದೆನ್ ಇನ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ದೆನ್ ಲಾಯರ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನ್. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನ್, ಒಂದು ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಮತ್ತು ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ಲೇ ಆಲ್ ಎಟ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅವ್ನು ಕಲ್ತು ಕೂಡಲೇ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವನು ಥಿಯರಿ ಕಲ್ತು ಕೂಡಲೇ ಹೋಗಿ ನಾನು ಆಪ್ರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಏನು ಮೆಡಿಸಿನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ವರ್ಕ್ ಆನ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಶಿಪ್, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ನೋ ಈಚ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್, ದೆನ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಲಾಯರ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನ್, ಸೊ ಇದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ internship becomes very important. So it is a joint program of training in which educational institutions and the business firm cooperate. Okay, so the selected candidates carry on regular studies for prescribed period. So they also work in some factory or office to acquire practical knowledge and skills. So ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ, ಸೊ ಅವರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಆಫೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ರೀಸನ್ ವೈ ದೇ ಡೂ ಇಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಟು ಅಕ್ವೈರ್ ದಿ ಅಡಿಷನಲ್ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ರಿಗಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದ fourth one is job rotation. So what is this job rotation? So job rotation, it is a method of training which serves the purpose of employees development through provision of diversified training. It is a provision of diversified training. So here what they do is like the employee in the organization will rotate, or it will be rotated from one job to another. So not only from one job to another but also from one department to another. So ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸದಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ, ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸದಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದ ರೀಸನ್ why this is done is that he may learn the working of various departments or jobs. ಸೊ ಯಾಕೆ ಇದನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಅವನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಜಾಬ್ಸನ್ನು ಅಥವಾ ಎಲ್ಲ ಜಾಬ್ಸು ಕಲ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಟು ದ ಟ್ರೈನಿ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ ಆನ್ other jobs. So it becomes or it is helpful for the employee to, or it gives an opportunity for an employee or trainee to understand the problems of employees on other jobs. So ಬೇರೆ ಕೆಲಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು, the job rotation, it involves shifting the trainee from one department to another or from one job to another. So this enables the trainee to gain a broader understanding of all parts of the business enables trainee to gain broader understanding of all parts of the business and how the organization as a whole functions. So the trainee, he gets fully involved in the department's operations and also gets a chance to test her own aptitude and ability. So job rotation, it allows the trainees to interact with the other employees. So interaction takes place and facilitates the future cooperation among departments. So when the employee are trained by this method, the organization finds it easier at the times of promotion, replacement or transfers. Why? Because the person who is an employee has worked in all the process or all the departments and all the jobs, so they will be familiar with each and every kind of work. Okay, so when it comes to transfer or promotion, it is easy for an organization to promote or transfer an employee from one process or one job to another job, or from one department to another department, because a person who is an employee in that particular organization is well known about each and every process or departments or the job. Okay, so the next one, that is the next concept, is of the job training. So when it comes to of the job training, I told you it's like the person who is a trainee gets trained first and then he enters into the organization. So in case of complicated and technical job, it is very important that he should have more understanding and skill and experience in that particular work which he is doing. So of the job training helps him to get particular knowledge or exact knowledge regarding what he is doing. So that is the work of the job training. So of the job training methods are those which training is provided away from the actual working condition. So he is trained first and then he is put into the process of working. So under the of the job training, the first one is classroom lecture. So what is this classroom lecture? So classroom lecture, it is a method, is also known as known to train the white collar or managerial executives in the organization. So it is a method where the trainees are called to the room, that is room like that of the classroom, to give training in front, in the form of lectures. Okay, so there the training is provided in the form of lectures. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬರೀ lectures ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. So it is to train the white collared or managerial executive. So executive level ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋರಿಗೆ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ರೂಮ್ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ಸನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಟ್ರೈನೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ into the room like that of the classroom to give training in the form of lecture. So this method is effectively used for the purpose of teaching administrative aspects or to make aware of the procedures and to give instructions on the particular topic. Okay, so when it comes to classroom lecture, the like I told you, the lecture or conference approach will always is well adapted to conveying specific information, rules and procedures or methods. So the use of audio visuals or demonstrations can often make the formal classroom presentation more interesting. Yeah, so the use of audiovisuals or demonstrations can often make the formal classroom presentation more interesting, so while increasing retention and offering a vehicle for clarifying more difficult points. So they use audio visuals or make demonstration, so which will make the class much more easier, that is the classroom presentation more interesting, while increasing retention and offering a vehicle for clarifying more difficult points. So vehicle for more clarifying more difficult points, and it provides an opportunity to solve those problems or difficulties which they have. Okay, so the next one is films. So when it comes to films, so here what they do is like they can provide information and explicitly demonstrate skills that are not easily expressed by other techniques. So ನಾವು ಬಾಯಿ ಮಾತಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿ ಏನು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಸ್, ಸೊ ನಾವು ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಾಯಿ ಮಾತಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ರೂಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಅ ವಿಡಿಯೋ. ಸೊ this is used in conjunction with the conference discussion. So conference discussion ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರ ಜೊತೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಥರ, ನಾಟ್ ಮೂವಿ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ the video regarding that particular aspect. So this which contains the information about what has to be done in the organization. So it is used in conjunction with conference discussion. So it is very effective method. Not only, not in all the cases, but in certain cases it becomes very effective method. Why? Because the person is shown the information through film. Okay, so film through ತೋರಿಸುವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಗಳು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ. ಸೊ when coming to the case study, so the case study, it has can be said as it is a written description of an actual situation in the past in the same organization or somewhere else. Yes, and trainees are supposed to analyze and give their conclusions for the problems or cases that was available in the same organization or in some other organization. So this is an excellent method to ensure full participation of employees. It is an excellent method to ensure full participation of employee and generates a good a good interest among them. So case is later discussed by the instructor with all the pros and cons. It is the merits and demerits with each option. So it is an ideal method to promote decision making ability with the constraints of limited data. So this helps the employee in the organization to make a proper decision. Why? Because cases are provided to them. So when cases are provided to them, if there are 10 trainees in the organization, so 10 trainees in the organization will make 10 different kinds of decisions. So it helps to take up a proper decision. So it helps them to take up a proper decisions in the organization, or it will train the employee to take up a proper decision. So the things regarding this will be discussed with the superior, that is the instructor. So instructor will be discussing, or will provide, or he will say about the pros and cons of each and every cases. So the employees or trainees will be given with certain cases, and they will be told to solve those cases which are given to them. So the case study, it's taken from actual experiences of the organization. Like I told you, the cases represents the attempts to describe as accurately as possible. So the trainees study the cases to determine problems, analyze causes, then develop alternative solution. So select what they believe to be the best solution, and what they do is like they implement it into the business organization. Clear? So the next one is computer modeling. So when it comes to computer modeling, it stimulates the work environment by programming a computer to imitate some of the realities of the job. Yeah. So it stimulates the work environment by programming a computer to imitate some of the realities of the job. Yeah. So computer stimulation modeling is a technique of representing the real world by the computer or software. Yeah, it is a programming or technique of representing the real world by a computer program or software. So computer modeling or computer simulation modeling can assist in designing, then creation, evaluation of complex systems. So it can model the real or proposed system using computer software. So it is useful when change in the actual system is difficult to implement and impractical. So it allows learning in an artificial environment without the risk of damage to machines or equipments, resulting in high cost. Okay, so in coming year, so here under this computer modeling, so it stimulates the work environment by programming a computer to imitate some of the realities of the job. So it shows how a particular job works. So ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ರಿಯಲ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ now what happens is like it allows learning to take place without the risk or high cost that would be incurred if the mistakes were made in the real life situation. So ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು, ಆ ರಿಯಲ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಏನು ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅದನ್ನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಮಾಡೆಲಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ರಿಸ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಏನು ಲಾಸಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, it can be totally reduced to a greatest extent. So the next one is vestibule training. So when it comes to vestibule training, so this method of training is used mostly to train the technical staff and office employees, so who deal with the equipments and tools and machines. Okay, so the employee here, what it does is he learns that they learn their jobs on the equipment or tools. So they will be using in the they will be using in the place of training, so which is away from the actual workplace. Yeah, so vestibule training, it allows the employee to get full feel for doing work without real world pressure. Okay, so this type of training is provided to employees when new or advanced equipments or tools are introduced in the organization. So they are totally far from the real working space or real working place. So they will be trained in a particular place which is far from the actual working place. So ಬೇರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅವರು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಕಂಪನಿಲಿ ಅವರು ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಪುಟ್ ಇನ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ the ರಿಯಲ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್. ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿ ಸೇಮ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ವಿಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಯೂಶಲಿ ಹೊಸ ಎಕ್ವಿಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ, ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಎಕ್ವಿಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಈ ವೆಸ್ಟಿಬ್ಯೂಲ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ಸನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ learn their job on the equipment they will be using, but the training is conducted away from the actual workflow. So the actual work environment is created in the classroom and employees use the same material, files and equipments. This is usually done when employees are required to handle sophisticated machinery and equipment. Like I told you, when new or advanced equipments or tools are introduced into the organization, in that particular situation the vestibule training will be used. So the last one is programmed instruction. So when it comes to the programmed instruction, so here under programmed instruction, so this method incorporates the pre-arranged and proposed acquisition of some specific skills. Pre-arranged and proposed acquisition of some specific skills or general knowledge. So the information here is broken into meaningful units, and these units are arranged in a proper way. Okay, so information is broken into meaningful units and these units are arranged in a proper way to form a logical or sequential learning package. Arranged in a proper way to form a logical or and sequential learning package. So that is for simple to complex. So ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, the thing or the proposed acquisition of some specific skill or information are broken into meaningful units and these units are arranged in a proper way to form a logical or a sequential learning package. So the trainee goes through these units by answering questions and filling the blanks. Okay, so this is how the programmed instructions take place. So ಏನು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ಫುಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಇನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಆರ್ಡ್ರಲ್ಲಿ, ಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಆರ್ಡ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಸೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಆರ್ಡ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಸೊ ಟ್ರೈನಿ ಗೋಸ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದೀಸ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಬೈ ಆನ್ಸರಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ filling the blanks. Okay, so this is all about the on the job and off the job training. So on the job training ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನು ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿ ಅವನು ವರ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಾಗಲೇ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಅವನ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ ಅಥವಾ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವ್ನು ಕಲಿತಾ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ, ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಕಲಿತಾ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಜಾಬಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ತಗೋತಾನೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವನು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. Okay, so this is all about the staffing. So see that you are completing your notes as soon as possible. So most probably by next week you will have to be submitting your notes. So see that the notes is complete. See that you are not skipping any of the concepts. So if you have any doubts you can ask. Yeah, so by next week I will fix a date and let you know the date before which you will have to submit the notes. So no late submission will be allowed. So ಆದಷ್ಟು ಇನ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ. ಓಕೆ.